You were not born to be soft. You were not put on this earth to beg for validation. You were built for war. You were chosen for pressure. You were designed for the storm. This is not a speech. This is not advice. This is a mental reset. Every weakness you've tolerated, every excuse you've made, every time you broke when life hit back, ends right now. Because if you keep living like you're breakable, life will keep breaking you. But that's not who you are. You're not fragile. You're forged. This moment is not here to comfort you. It's here to wake you up. You don't need another video to feel good. You need the truth. You need the pain. You need the mirror. And the mirror doesn't lie. So look at yourself, hard. Ask yourself, am I showing up as the man I was meant to be? Or just surviving like a version I created to hide behind? Let me tell you something. Survival is not your purpose. You were not called to barely make it. You were built to dominate, built to lead, built to suffer and still stand. And if you're hearing this right now, it's not by chance. It's because the version of you that's been asleep is about to wake the hell up. No more soft mornings. No more quiet failures. No more hiding in comfort. From this point forward, you move different. You think different. You breathe discipline. You live with fire. Because when I say you're blessed, I don't mean lucky. I mean chosen, scarred, and selected. You've been through pain, but the pain didn't kill you. It built you. Now it's time to return to the fight, not for applause, but for legacy, for redemption, for the man in the mirror. Remember this, the world doesn't owe you healing. The world owes you nothing, but you owe yourself everything. The price is paid in focus, sweat, silence, and sacrifice. Pay it, every day. No more questions, no more permission, just purpose, just presence, just pressure. I rise without noise. I walk like I already won. You don't become a champion by punching hard. You become a champion by thinking sharp. The ring doesn't care about your talent. It only respects your mindset. And that's what most people never understand. They train their body, but they forget the battlefield is the mind. That's where I lived. That's where I bled. That's where I won. I didn't just train to fight. I trained to kill every voice of doubt, every shadow of fear, every inch of weakness inside me. My trainer didn't just teach me technique. He taught me how to suffer, how to break and still get back up, how to smile at pain like it was breakfast. Because that's the mentality. That's the weapon. That's the difference. When you walk into the gym, you're not just lifting weights. You're lifting responsibility. You're lifting the standard for who you are. And if your mind is soft, everything else collapses. You don't flinch. You don't wait. You don't ask. You decide. You move. You strike. The opponent is not the man in front of you. It's the hesitation inside you. You kill that, you win before the first bell. People think fear is something you feel. I say fear is something you train against. Every second I was awake, I was programming my mind. Not to hope, not to wish, but to execute. You want to change your life? Stop asking how. Start telling yourself who. Who are you when no one's watching? Who are you when everything hurts? Who are you when nothing's left but breath and blood and fight? If you don't like the answer, build a better one. Build it in silence. Build it in sweat. Build it when it's raining and cold and nobody believes in you. That's when the warrior is born. Not when the lights are on, but when the world is dark. I was 13 years old, waking up at 4 in the morning to run. I didn't run because I loved it. I ran because I hated who I was. And I wasn't going to stay that way. You don't need more comfort. You need more war. You need resistance. You need discipline that makes people uncomfortable. Because you're not here to survive. You're here to command. Command your thoughts. Command your time. Command your body. When you walk into a room, your silence should speak louder than their noise. Not because you talk big, but because you think different. Train your mind like it's your only weapon. Because it is. This world will test you. It will tempt you. It will try to convince you to go soft, to relax, to wait. Don't. That's the trap. Weak men wait. Warriors prepare. Every day I looked in the mirror and said, no one owes you greatness. No one owes you progress. No one owes you belief. You build that yourself, brick by brick, blow by blow. I used to visualize breaking fear in half. I saw myself walking through fire and laughing, because fear is a liar, and doubt is a thief. And if you don't crush them, they'll crush you. That's the truth. You're either building a legacy or building excuses. Pick one. And if you pick legacy, you better get used to being uncomfortable, because champions live where others break. That's the mentality. You bleed in the shadows so you don't break in the spotlight. And if you ever forget that, just remember, comfort never made a killer. Comfort never made a king. Comfort never built a Tyson. So I trained angry. I trained cold. I trained focused. While they laughed, I ran. While they slept, I repeated. While they doubted, I locked in. Because I knew the truth. Mindset eats motivation every single day. You can listen to 100 speeches, but if your mind ain't built like steel, nothing sticks. You want results? You want power? You want transformation? Then stop acting like you have time. Get in the fight, get in your head, and tear the weakness out, with focus, with repetition, with fire, until your thoughts are bullets, until your doubts are ashes, until your name means something again. I sharpen my thoughts like blades. I enter each day ready for war. There's a version of you that wants to quit, a version that wants comfort, applause, easy victories. That version has to die. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now. Because you don't rise by feeding your weakness. You rise by starving it. You rise by looking it dead in the eye and saying, you don't get to speak for me anymore. Every day is a war inside, a war between who you are and who you're becoming. And most men lose because they never learn to fight themselves. They chase the world. They chase validation. But the real enemy is not out there. The real enemy is in the mirror. It's the man who hits snooze, the man who eats to feel better, the man who complains more than he builds. You don't need more motivation. You need a funeral, a quiet burial for every soft habit, every excuse, every voice that whispers, you're tired. You're not ready. You'll do it later. That voice is not your friend. It's a thief. And the longer you listen, the more it steals. Steals your edge, steals your energy, steals your name. I had to bury that version of me, the scared one, the one who needed praise, the one who cared what others thought. He had to go. Because I saw where that road led. Mediocrity, regret, soft hands, and empty eyes. I refused to become that. So I chose violence, but not against people, against weakness, against laziness, against the old me. You're not soft because life is hard. You're soft because you made peace with the enemy inside. And now you wonder why you feel lost, why you feel numb. It's because you're still carrying the dead weight of who you used to be. Drop it, burn it, and when it screams to stay, you scream louder. You tell it, I'm not him anymore. I don't break like I used to. I don't flinch like I used to. I don't bow like I used to. I stand, I strike, I rise. That's what this war is about. Not proving others wrong, proving yourself right. The version of you that wakes up early, that keeps promises, that trains when it's raining, that says no when everyone else says yes. That man is waiting, but he won't fight for the throne. You have to choose him. You have to earn him, with silence, with sweat, with scars. And when the old you tries to come back, because it will, you look him in the eye and say, you had your time, you had your chance. Now step aside, I've got work to do. The world doesn't see that war, but it feels it. It feels it when you speak less and act more, when your eyes burn with direction, when your energy says, I've been through fire, and I'm still standing. You want to know why most people never change? Because they think they can bring their old self into a new life. You can't. You want a new life? You need a new identity, built from blood and prayer and discipline. You don't get that with good intentions. You get it with death. Death of distraction, death of excuses, death of the man you used to be. This war isn't pretty. It's not for Instagram. It's not for anyone but you. But if you win it, you don't need to explain yourself ever again, because you'll move different, talk different, lead different, and the world will notice. Not because you said something, but because you became something. That's what I did. I wasn't born a monster. I built it, inside, day by day, battle by battle. I didn't fight others first. I fought myself, my hunger, my demons, my softness, and I won. And you will too. But only if you're ready to let the old you burn. I bury the weak in silence. I rise with the fire of who I choose to be. You don't grow in the spotlight. You grow in the dark, in the quiet, when no one's clapping, when no one's watching, when the world forgets you exist, but you keep showing up. That's where the real power is built. Not in noise, not in likes, not in applause, in isolation, in repetition, in silence. You want to build something unshakable? Then train where no one cares. Bleed where no one sees. Master your craft in the shadows, because isolation is where men are forged. Not on stage, not in crowds, in the basement, in the early hours, in the gym when it's cold and empty. That's where you meet yourself. That's where you strip away the lies. There's no pretending when it's just you, no masks, no filters, just raw truth. Who are you when no one's looking? Who are you when no one tells you good job? If you need validation to stay consistent, you're not ready for greatness. If you need company to train, you're not serious. Because the beast is built in silence. The monster is born in the hours you thought didn't matter. I lived in that silence. I craved it. I woke up before the sun not to post it, but to earn it. No one knew what I was doing. That was the point. I didn't need them to know. I needed them to feel it later. When I stepped into the ring, I brought every lonely mile with me. Every rep no one saw, every tear no one noticed. That's what gave me power. That's what made me dangerous. Because while they were being seen, I was becoming something. And there's a difference. Some people want to be noticed. Others want to be undeniable. You don't get both. You want peace? Train alone. You want clarity? Walk alone. You want to find your edge? You find it in silence. Most people can't sit with themselves. That's why they scroll. That's why they talk too much. Because silence reveals truth. And most people aren't ready to meet the real man inside. But you are. That's why you're here. Because something inside you knows. You've been too loud, too distracted, too available. It's time to disappear and become. It's time to cut the noise and build the core. Don't tell people what you're doing. Don't explain your vision. Let your results speak in a language they can't ignore. That's the way of isolation. It humbles you. It breaks you. And then it rebuilds you stronger, sharper, quieter, deadlier. I trained alone for years. Not because I had to, because I wanted to. I wanted to hear my thoughts. I wanted to confront my demons. I wanted to know that I didn't need anyone to become great. And neither do you. Your strength isn't in the crowd. It's in your routine, your structure, your hunger. You want power? Get boring, get silent, get relentless. Wake up at the same time every day. Do the same work. Eat the same meals. Say no to distractions. Say no to trends. Say yes to discipline. Yes to sacrifice. Yes to becoming the man no one sees until it's too late. They'll say you changed. No, you returned. You came back to the truth, to the silence, to the solitude where killers are built. This world teaches you to stay connected. I say disconnect to reconnect. With your edge, with your focus, with your purpose. Because when you come out of isolation, you won't need to announce it. Your presence will shift the room. You won't need to speak. They'll feel it. The the silence will enter before you do. That's the power of isolation. That's the power of becoming something when no one's watching. Don't run from the quiet. Run into it. And when the voices get loud, when the doubts rise, when the loneliness burns, remember this: that's not weakness. That's the fire doing its job. That's the forge at work. Keep going. No one needs to know. They'll see it when it's done. I disappear to rebuild. I train where the world goes blind. I lost everything, not once, multiple times. But I never stayed down. Because losing is part of the fight. Failure isn't the end, it's the furnace. It melts the old you so the new you can rise. Every champion has scars. Every king has crawled. Don't get fooled by the crown. Look at the wounds, the bruises, the history. You want to talk about comebacks? Let me tell you something. They don't start with applause. They start with pain, raw, silent pain, the kind that wakes you up at night and asks, who are you now? Not when you're winning. Not when they cheer, but when they leave, when they laugh, when you're alone in a room full of memories that don't love you back. That's where the comeback is born. In silence, in shame, in fire. I've been there, at the bottom, stripped of respect, stripped of comfort, stripped of identity. And you know what was left? The will to fight, the refusal to be erased. You don't need the world to believe in you. You need to believe in the man rising from the ashes. Because no matter what they take, they can't take your hunger. They can't steal your decision to rebuild. Pain is your hammer. Discipline is your blueprint. And failure is your teacher. So study it. Study what broke you. Study how you fell. And then stand up with a mind 10 times sharper than before. They thought it was over for me. They said I was done. But what they didn't know is that I was learning. In the shadows, in the silence, rewiring everything, rebuilding the foundation. Not to come back the same, but to return different, wiser, colder, cleaner, stronger. That's the code. The comeback is not about revenge. It's about resurrection. You don't rise to prove them wrong. You rise to prove yourself right. And every step forward is a step away from who you used to be. Let them doubt you. Let them mock you. They're just confirming that you're not who you were. That's how you know it's working. Transformation makes people uncomfortable. Growth triggers weakness in others. Don't slow down to explain. Don't look back to justify. Keep moving. Keep climbing. Every setback is sacred. It reveals the cracks in your foundation. Now fix them, reinforce them, and step again, but step sharper, step louder. Because you've been through fire now. You carry something different. Pain has baptized you. Discipline has refined you, and silence has crowned you. You don't need to talk. You are the message now. When I walked back into the ring, I wasn't just fighting a man. I was fighting the old story, the narrative they wrote for me, the one that said I'd never come back, the one that buried me while I was still breathing. So I wrote a new one, with fists, with silence, with repetition. You can do the same. I don't care how far you've fallen. I don't care who left. I don't care how loud the voices in your head scream failure. Rewrite, restart, rebuild, and do it without apology. You've got every tool inside you. You just haven't bled enough to find it. But now you're bleeding. Now you're awake. Now you're dangerous. And here's the secret. You don't need to be perfect to start again. You just need to be honest. Honest about who you were. Honest about who you want to become. And disciplined enough to close the gap between the two, one day at a time, one decision at a time, one rep at a time. This is not your end. This is your forge. Walk into it. Let it burn what doesn't serve you. Let it reshape what does. And come back not as who you were, but as who you were meant to be. I fall forward. I rise forged. I walk as a man reborn. If you want to change your life, don't wait for a moment. Build a ritual. Because greatness isn't something you find, it's something you do. Daily, repeatedly, silently. That's how beasts are made. Not through hype, not through random effort, through systems, through rhythms, through sacred discipline. Every morning I woke up before the noise, before the doubts, before the distractions could catch me. That's how I won, not in the ring, but in the shadows of routine. I didn't ask myself if I felt like it. I didn't wait for inspiration. I moved because movement was my identity. You don't negotiate with the old you. You execute. You don't need more time. You need more structure. You need a plan so clear it survives your weakest moods. I trained at the same hour. I ate at the same hour. I ran the same streets. And while others chased variety, I chased consistency. Because repetition is reputation. Every rep was a promise. Every drill, a prayer. And I prayed with my sweat. I worshipped with my hunger. That was my altar, the routine. Your habits are louder than your goals. What you do every day is who you are. You want to be disciplined? Then stop trying to be motivated. Just show up, even when it's boring. Especially when it's boring. Because the beast doesn't rise in emotion. It rises in consistency. Structure is freedom. When your day is built on purpose, you don't waste energy deciding. You just move, just execute, just conquer. And when you fall, you don't collapse. You adjust, you realign, you return to the ritual. I used to visualize every fight, every round, every punch, not to hope for the win, but to command it. I saw it before they did, because the mind moves first. If you can't see it in silence, you won't touch it in reality. So see it, every day, in detail, not just the moment of victory, but the pain that leads there, the sacrifice, the sweat, and then live that vision through your actions. Breathe it in your training. Speak it in your silence. Make it real through rhythm. Daily rhythm. You don't need more knowledge. You need more execution. You know what to do. You've just been lazy with the doing. That ends now. From here on, your calendar is sacred. Your morning is non-negotiable. Your habits are holy ground. Don't let emotions vote on your destiny. Don't let your phone be your first voice. Open your eyes and meet yourself before the world meets you. Train, breathe, focus, eat clean, pray, read, move, repeat. The beast isn't built in a day. He's built in what you do every day. You want peace? Earn it through repetition. You want power? Build it through structure. You want purpose? Bury it in your routine. Your calendar should scare average men. Your habits should intimidate your past self. That's how you know you're becoming something new. And when they ask what changed, you don't explain. You just point to your day. That's where the transformation lives. In your daily decisions. In your quiet obedience. In your focused repetition. So set the standard, not once, but every single morning. When the alarm hits, that's the battlefield. That's your first victory. Don't lose it. Win early. Win repeatedly. And stack the wins until you no longer recognize the man you used to be. Your rituals are the roots. If they're weak, everything above falls. If they're strong, nothing breaks you. I didn't need applause. I needed rhythm. I didn't need company. I needed structure. I didn't need another coach. I needed the beast in the mirror to show up daily. And so do you. Not for a week, not for 30 days, for life. Discipline is not punishment. It's devotion to the man you were called to become. I honor my future through repetition. I build my name with every silent rep. Now you walk different. Now you think different. Because the man who pressed play at the start of this video is gone. He's not coming back. And that's good. Because he wasn't built for what's coming. But you are. You've earned a new name. You've earned a new silence. And this silence doesn't mean weakness. It means control. Control of your emotions. Control of your energy. Control of your destiny. You've tasted something different now. The edge, the rhythm, the fire. And once you taste that, You can't go back. You've seen who you could be. Now there's no more pretending, no more performing, only becoming. The world will try to pull you back, into noise, into distraction, into weakness. But you know better. Because you've been to war in your own mind, and you won. You buried the coward. You silenced the critic. You chose the hard path. And that path gave you something no one can take: inner authority, the power to command yourself, the discipline to build without applause, the vision to stay focused when the world gets blurry. You've been refined by repetition, baptized in sweat, crowned by consistency. This is not hype. This is not adrenaline. This is identity. You are no longer chasing greatness. You are walking in it. With every rep, every decision, every second, you protect your focus. You protect your legacy. The old story is done. The new one has no ceiling. You don't need to be told what to do. You already know. You've become the voice, the fire, the structure. And when you look in the mirror now, you don't see potential. You see proof. Proof that you can rebuild. Proof that you can rise. Proof that every scar has a purpose. You've shifted from needing motivation to becoming your own momentum. From wanting change to being the change. This is not about feeling different. It's about being different. And you are. You are the storm now. You are the code. You are the command. I walk in silence but carry the weight of legacy. I don't hope for strength. I live like I already have it. So what now? Are you going to scroll back to your old self or step into the ring as the man you were meant to be?